what is good? This is Daz Bones, back and better than ever, and I am with
Monkey D. Michael.
And this is the official review of One Piece chapter 1011, man. And what a chapter it was. It was a dope little change of pace from what we've gotten recently. We got the major hockey clashes, like the major king clashes, with like Luffy and Zoro against Kaido previously.
Oh yeah.
But now we're starting to see a few more matchups. This was more of a setup chapter, and we get the aftermath of what Eustace Kid and Big Mom and Killer are up to. We see them kind of on their own, isolated on the edge of Onigashima at the beginning of the chapter.
Definitely. You see them starting to get a little bit distracted because Big Mom's not going down without a fight, and they accidentally let Zeus out, right? So
and
we're dealing with that.
Law says immediately, it's like, oh man, the box is broken, they must have their hands full down there. And once like we see that, we get that just ridiculous foreshadowing of possibly a new homie, and then that attack that Big Mom lets out. And I don't even want to mess it up because of the translation in the scan, but it is just this ridiculous like beam blast that just wipes out, and like it knocks out an entire section of Onigashima, and Kid and Killer are just, they're not down for the count, but they're blown away completely.
Oh yeah, definitely. So they're sitting there trying to figure out what's going on next. It almost makes me wonder if Prometheus has fused with some other type of homie that she's created, considering he asked her for a favor. But it was really interesting to try to figure out, okay, well, where she's at. She could have thought that we were somewhere else because of how hard she hit us, you know?
Yeah, and the next point that they kind of raised, the issue and the concern, is that we can't let them reconvene and like reconnect. So the idea now is to, Law makes the comment to Luffy, I'm taking everybody to the bottom floor to keep her occupied, and then Eustace Kid and Killer are they're going on the search for her all over the place because they can't find her anymore either. So now it's just all hell, like all hell in the Oros Plaza, like all over again, except this time it's on the main floors of Onigashima. And after this perspective shift, we get right back to the main event a little bit. We get Luffy versus Kaido, and when we see Luffy, it's him talking to Law, and we see Kaido actually on the ground, which is so crazy. This is the first time we've seen him in this state, but in this hybrid form, we see that he's not maybe quite as durable, but he's more willing to go in those one-on-one exchanges.
Right, he's more attack ready, and that was something I really was excited about because that little conversation between the two of them both smiling, I think Kaido's actually starting to really get into this fight. He's really getting excited about it compared to his I want to die, please just let me die mentality that we had seen previously.
Yeah, he's starting to take it a lot more seriously, and he's developing this newfound respect for Luffy, and that's what I really love to see here, because up to this point, he was really just considering him some like young whippersnapper. We know earlier he mentioned like little pirate games.
Right.
So he thought all of these supernova were just little fleas, little flies on his windshield, honestly. But now that Luffy is tapping into that King's Haki and can blend them into his attacks, and we see that like with Zoro having Enma, and he really dealing Kaido that ridiculous blow, he has to make note of it, even though it couldn't keep him down for the count.
Oh yeah, he definitely has to recognize
I gotta put some respect on his name, man. And speaking of respect on the worst generation, on to the other supernova like right hand, we know that Killer is somebody who has not really gotten his due respect, but he is getting his opportunity here now as him and Eustace Kid, they're traveling all through the main floor pathways trying to find Big Mom, and then they finally run into Basil Hawkins, who we haven't seen in a while, and he brings out his straw sword and confronts him. But Kid is really just on the verge, and he's out there on this Luffy shit. He's trying to really just make a name for himself.
Exactly.
So he's looking for Big Mom. He doesn't have time for the Basil Hawkins of the world. That's not where legends are made, bro. Basil Hawkins is not the deciding factor here. So he leaves that to his right-hand Killer, who we know has really been a badass and has really been somebody who really thinks like Basil Hawkins, is a tactical person. So like, what do you think in this clash? What can result?
I think Hawkins got a really bad matchup here because we all know that Killer has those Scyther blades, and those are just honestly, like it's really gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna work out and the dynamic of it all, because Killer might not be so like amused by the fact that Hawkins would have to use puppets to help keep himself from being damaged, considering that he's been used as a puppet by Kaido himself.
Yeah, he could take that extremely personally, and it could be more to their fight than we would initially think. But I personally don't feel like, after what we've seen from Killer, like the Sonic Blast type attacks attacks that he's dished out against Kaido, like the exchanges that he's been able to deal out with these next level, like these top tier characters, I don't feel like Hawkins he's not ready to take it to that
not at
level
all.
just yet. I'm not saying that he's a slouch. He's obviously a member of the worst generation, but he is not one that is known for his attack power by any means.
He has the ability to be a right hand, but no captain, in my opinion.
And Killer on his own, I feel like he's definitely going to be a legend in his own right, but I'm not willing to give it to Basil Hawkins based on how he kind of punked out. Like, he's still sticking to this probability and like his tarot cards and sticking to the foundation of whoever has the highest chances of survival, I'm just gonna like align my allegiances with. So I'm not really appreciating that, but he's gonna get what's coming to him. I'm really hoping that they kind of have a long drawn out fight just to see all the versatility and the variety that they bring to it. But to end off Resurgence of the GOAT, God Usopp, Nami, and Otama, and they're riding on the little fire dog, and they are of course in high being chased by Page 1.
Otama's like begging Fire Dog to sit there and just keep going, like we're almost there. As long as we get to the main floor, like we can finish this out, I can take full control. Which is interesting that she has a perspective, but I also appreciated the fact that Nami and Usopp, like we don't want to die, like that's why we're not giving up, even though Page 1 was just like, stop.
Yeah, he was like, why don't y'all just chill? I'm honestly just trying to get rid of y'all. Y'all are small fry to me.
Exactly.
I'm trying to move on to the bigger fish, but they like, even though they're quote unquote weaklings, they have some really strong wills, and we see like all the green stars, like pine cone explosive that Usopp's letting off.
Absolutely.
And they're just trying to like just dish out all these attacks with their climb attack and then his slingshot. But with them not having any strength, it's really doing nothing for them. But the relationship between Otama and then Olin, who comes swooping in later on, and they amazingly and surprisingly just pop up
immediately. Like they're just like, oh hey, like what's going on? Oh hey, I missed you. And then like Olin is like, oh I really appreciated the red bean soup. And then all of a sudden Otama lets her know like Okoboro town has actually been destroyed.
All the beast pirates have ransacked it, and they tried to say that the people of Okoboro town stole the food, but really when they talk about all that shit, they really, Big Mom, she gets enraged because she sees the vulnerable position they're in, and she really just had a heartfelt connection with Otama because like as they mentioned that she has a motherly instinct with smaller children, so children under 10,
right?
They reference, so we know like maybe hinting at like the Tamas and the possibly the Momonosuke's that are like recurring characters in this arc. She is going to be enraged if they're ever in real danger or seeing that they're just being mistreated. So that is a little quirk with her just having that motherly instinct, and of course being like the mother of all in essence, and that's what she's supposed to be.
But it's something nice because it actually kind of sets up a lot of the emperors to have strong feelings about what they believe in and certain set of standards for each of them that they would have to meet almost.
Yeah, and that's why she gets so enraged at Page 1. She was like, I know this pirate world is a cruel world, and it's like survival of the fittest, but nah, we gotta have levels to it. Like, you're only a Yonkou's crew. Why are you going after children?
Exactly. Like what are you doing?
So she decides to take matters into her own hands and hockey's up. And man, that's where we end off. She gives him a crazy, it looks like a Conqueror's hockey.
It was
punch.
beautiful.
Man, but that is what we end at. And we also see that at the end of that, like Ulti walks in at the very last moment and just sees him get put down for the count. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does. Is she gonna hightail it and run? She seems like she's been really defensive of her brother up until this point.
Right.
So I'm hoping that she just decides to go all out, and maybe we can get another one of these beast pirates knocked out. So let's focus all our energy on all the major players now. Let's get rid of these flying six. Let's see Nico Robin again. Let's see Black Maria. Let's see Frankie. Let's see Jinbei. Let's see all these cats. Let's see what they
switch it all up.
Yeah, let's see some multiple perspectives, and let's see more of these hockey feats because I'm loving the progression of all of these characters. I want to see more Straw Hats develop hockey, and I want to see how that develops with their devil fruit combination and things like that. But man, way more on the way. Tell us what you're looking forward to on the way out, bro.
I'm looking forward to everybody liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel, honestly.
Oh man, this has been Daz Bones
and Monkey D. Michael.
And you know Lotus Always Blooms Twice.